Being a millennial is not just about someone's age, it's about how people's behavior is impacted by technology. So there are a lot of baby boomers and Gen Xers that now behave like millennials. Essentially what the internet has done, it has accelerated our evolution, the human evolution. So of course, there's not been enough time for us to digest it. And it's hard to understand why this change is happening because we don't have a previous paradigm. Right? We don't have any experience with this. It's not like we can go in history and say like 200 years ago something like that happened. There is no pattern. Yeah? There is no paradigm. In our educational system, we have always prioritized intelligence over emotional intelligence. So we have gone through millennia, going back to the times of Aristotle and Plato. We have never been taught things like interpersonal skills. You don't really have a module for interpersonal skills. Those 4 skills are critical thinking, emotional intelligence, contextual creativity, and mindfulness. None of us went to school being taught any of these things, right? The good news is that everybody can learn these skills. The bad news is that we have not been prepared for it. However, the problem now is that the machine learning is catching up with our intelligence and is actually superseding our intelligence. So the question then becomes, what is left for us to do? There are only ever 2 stories in the world. It's either a man went on a journey or a stranger came to town. There are 3 components to your house. Number 1 is your story. What's your brand story? Number 2, and the most important one, as you see, this is like, if you're building a house, who are you building it for? It's their story. 62% of millennials in 2017 have said that they prefer to be entrepreneurs. There are microcultural shifts happening on social media that if you are not part of it, you're gonna miss it. A lot of brands are understanding now that they need to become content creators, which then poses the question of, so where does traditional media stand? Another reason why millennials are so important is because they have impacted the decision-making and the purchasing behaviors of the previous generations. What this means is that we don't have a sense of attachment to things. What it's doing is changing the tissue of the society. It's changing the way that we behave and our mindset. As a result of that, we are also less loyal. The judge of whether or not you are a good influencer is the general public. And that's what is making it really different. If you ask them, what is it that you love? Most of the time, the answer will lead you to a point that you realize it's not the field of what they're saying they love that they love. What they love is the idea of success. Digital is a language. The way that we connect digitally, that's like the way that we use language.